Good morning, Facebook fam, YouTube fam, Instagram, social media. I need to say something, and I'm not writing a poem, I'm just saying something that happened that I can't even explain. So, I go into a place I really don't eat at, but I'm working, and so I'm waiting for the order, and I feel like I'm being not given great customer service. I'm just telling you how I feel. And so I say to the person behind the counter who now is engaged in a conversation between two people that I didn't feel had any that could wait or should have taken place some other time and not in front of all of us. Yo, I'm not trying to be right. I'm not talking about right or wrong. I'm talking about what I did because of that. And so what I did because of that was this. I said what I said. The young lady, you know, she didn't take that too well. And I left. And I went and sat in my car. And I said, wow, you are such an asshole. Because people, even when they're wrong, they're not wrong. They just did something I didn't like. When does that not happen? So if it's happening all the time, I need to be big enough to put all of that personal hurt aside and just show her my pain. And maybe she will forgive me for being an asshole. And I'm not saying that I had the full progression of those thoughts at that time. I'm just saying I felt like an asshole. If you ever felt like an asshole, you know you need to change that. That's not right. How can you live with yourself if that's who you are? So I have problems with that. And so I just happened to be sent back there again. And I wasn't even sent back there. I was sent to the place that's adjacent to that place. But it allowed me the opportunity to walk from one side to the other while I was waiting. And I saw her again. And because I had put away my little tiny hurt, I was blessed to see, wow, you did that to a real person like her, not you still don't have that right to be an asshole. That's just my thinking. That's all we're talking about. And so I said, listen, she looked at me. She didn't even remember me, which is another issue. Okay, she didn't remember me at first, but that's another issue because that means that people are doing that constantly. So wow, I didn't go to that side because of that, but that's what I discovered in doing that. And I only discovered that by her not remembering me. Most people remember things that are not right or quote unquote traumatic. No, I don't know what happened as a result of that, but I could imagine some of the things that could possibly happen. And I'm not happy with that because I'm claiming that I know things. Why didn't I know that? That's so fundamental. And yet we do that every day. We're disrespectful in response to somebody being disrespectful. And somewhere in this, I remember King saying, an eye for an eye will leave us all with one eye, or maybe even blind, if you think about it. However, fast track back to the end of the story. The end of the story is this. something came over me, and the asshole part of me, you know, came was put to the back, and I apologized to her, and I said, "Listen, do you have a minute?" And she was working at the window. She didn't really have a minute, but I don't know this. I don't go to a lot of these places to buy food. I just happen to know how to cook a little bit, and people that I know, if I don't cook, they cook, and I'm happy with what they produce. And I'm a trained chef by, you know, I can't think of the word, but I'm a trained chef, by profession. And so I said to her, listen, and she said, hey, okay, I remember you. And I said, hold up, please don't go right back there. That's not why I'm here. I just want to say to you, I don't know what overtook me in that moment, and whatever it was that overtook me, it's irrelevant. I ain't have a reason to act in that way, but I did. I apologize for that. I just want to share that with you. And she wouldn't even let me leave. I mean, I could just look at her face and know that I apologized. Those simple words was something that we all need to do more, whether we're wrong or right. If we're hurting people and we don't want to be hurt, you better start with the, person in the mirror, you know. And that's the gist of my story. Hey, thanks for listening.